Don't scroll, listen carefully. The air around you stills, as if the universe itself is holding its breath. The night hums with a faint emerald shimmer that glows from nowhere and everywhere at once. You can feel it brushing against your skin, whispering through your hair, slipping into your lungs like soft light turned to breath. It's not ordinary air, it's alive, carrying a frequency that hums with healing and truth. Your pulse slows. The noise of the world fades away. You are standing at the edge of something sacred, something that sees you. Subscribe only if you feel drawn to touch the emerald light of heaven, to walk under the wings of healing angels, and to seek truths that can restore your soul. Type Amen in the comments. And now, without hesitation, you step into the emerald light. It wraps around you like a gentle storm. You sense movement, not wind, but awareness. The presence of Raphael is not thunderous, it is quiet, measured, like a whisper sliding through eternity. You don't hear words, you feel them in your bones. What you have hidden must rise, or it will haunt you forever. A pulse of light flashes across your vision, and the ground beneath your feet turns to glass. Beneath that glass, reflections begin to ripple, faces you've forgotten, moments you never forgave yourself for, words you wish you could take back. You don't want to look, yet the emerald light insists. Raphael's presence moves closer, and suddenly your chest aches as though your heart remembers every wound at once. You are not being punished. You are being revealed. Raphael's voice, if it can even be called that, carries warmth and command together. You cannot heal what you refuse to see. The emerald aura flickers brighter, and with it, an image takes shape, a younger version of you, standing in the same place, eyes full of questions. You see yourself hiding behind a smile, pretending you were fine when your spirit was breaking. The light cuts through every lie you ever told yourself. You want to turn away, but the more you resist, the heavier your body feels, until surrender becomes the only way to breathe. And when you finally whisper, "I see it," the emerald current swells like a living ocean. The air fills with soft choral murmurs, angelic tones overlapping like waves of forgiveness. Raphael moves around you in invisible circles, his wings not made of feathers, but of light, shifting between gold and deep green, alive with geometric patterns too divine for language. The moment you face your reflection, something releases. A knot you've carried for years unravels. Tears come, not from sadness, but from recognition. Raphael's healing isn't about comfort. It's about exposure. His light doesn't soothe you first, it breaks you open to make space for truth. Then you hear it, a story whispered through the ether, one that has existed since the beginning of faith, the story of Tobias. The voice tells you how Raphael once guided a young man across deserts and rivers, through danger and darkness, to heal his father's blindness. But what no one says aloud is that Raphael first revealed Tobias's own blindness, the blindness of fear, of doubt, of pretending strength when he was afraid to love. You realize now, the story wasn't history, it was prophecy. Tobias was every human who ever walked half-blind, every soul that needed to see beyond its own pain. Raphael's light didn't only cure physical sight, it stripped away illusions. And you feel that same stripping now, every layer of protection melting, leaving you raw, trembling, real. The emerald glow intensifies. You can almost taste the air, metallic, electric, ancient. You try to ask Raphael what's happening, but your voice fails. You hear only a pulse inside your mind. You came here thinking you needed healing. You came here to discover why you hid from it. Your surroundings blur. The stars above ripple like they're made of liquid glass. You sense the veil thinning, the border between your world and his. Each breath feels heavier, denser, like you're inhaling light itself. The energy climbs your spine in slow spirals until your vision floods white-green. And then, silence. The glass beneath your feet fractures with soundless cracks, and through it, something stirs. You see your own shadow, moving on its own, pulling itself upward from beneath the floor. It looks at you with your own eyes. Raphael's aura circles both of you. The shadow doesn't threaten, it pleads. It wants to be seen. You realize this is your forgotten self, the part of you you buried so deep you forgot it existed. Raphael's presence steadies you. Do not destroy what you fear. Embrace it until it remembers it was light. You step closer to your shadow, trembling. The emerald glow trembles too, not with violence, but anticipation. As your fingertips touch that reflection, you feel a surge like lightning wrapped in forgiveness. Memories flood back, laughter, betrayal, dreams that died too soon, apologies never said. It's overwhelming, but within it, you sense freedom. You are not your secrets. You are what survives them. Raphael's wings spread behind you, now a cathedral of light arching across the invisible sky. For a moment, you feel yourself lifted, not by power, but by surrender. The emerald current flows through your veins, purging, purifying, illuminating. You can't tell where you end and the light begins. And then you hear the same voice, closer this time, as if whispered directly into your soul, "This is only the first veil. The mirror awaits." The light dims, leaving only a faint glow in the distance, a path of shimmering dust leading somewhere you've never been. Your body feels weightless, but your spirit knows, this is where the deeper revelation begins. You take one last look behind you, the shadow is gone. Only light remains. The whisper comes again, "Walk forward, beloved one. What you fear next will free you." You breathe, step, and vanish into the glow. You walk into a corridor of quiet light. The air hums faintly, not with sound, but with memory. Each step feels softer than the last, as though the ground itself is remembering your weight. Ahead, a mirror stands suspended in midair, framed by nothing but Raphael's faint emerald radiance. It doesn't reflect your body. It reflects movement, flickers of scenes, lives, timelines that bleed into one another. You sense Raphael beside you, though you cannot see him now. Only the brush of warmth across your shoulder tells you he's near. His voice is softer this time, not command, but invitation. The light does not judge you. It only shows what you hide. You take a hesitant breath and step closer. The mirror shivers once, and suddenly it begins to glow like liquid silver. The reflection coalesces and you see yourself again, but not the version you left behind. This one is older. Wiser. But carrying grief that never found words. You feel your throat tighten. The reflection looks directly into your eyes, and every heartbeat echoes like thunder in an empty cathedral. A ripple moves through the mirror and then you are pulled in. You don't fall, you dissolve. The air changes texture, from solid to liquid light, and you're standing now inside the reflection. Around you stretch infinite fragments of your past suspended like floating shards of glass, each one showing something you once buried. You see the time you lied to protect someone you loved. You see the moment you let someone walk away because you were too afraid to ask them to stay. You see the secret anger you held against heaven for taking what you thought you deserved to keep. Raphael's voice flows through the space. Healing requires honesty. Honesty requires courage. And courage begins when you no longer fear the truth. The mirror shards pulse, and with each pulse, your heartbeat sinks. You are merging with your own memories. It's terrifying, yet liberating. The more you allow the light to expose, the lighter your chest feels. You begin to realize, the pain never left because you never allowed it to be seen. Then the mirror reforms again, this time showing not you, but Raphael himself. His form is vast and fluid, wings made of intersecting geometries, eyes like distant suns. His expression holds both sorrow and serenity. You can barely withstand his gaze. The emerald hue deepens, and he speaks through vibration rather than sound. Every secret you bury becomes a shadow that feeds on your strength. Every truth you reveal becomes light that returns to your soul. A sudden surge of green fire bursts through the room, and it doesn't burn, it clarifies. You feel your mind splitting open to memories you swore were lost, laughter in your childhood, the smell of rain on a long-forgotten day, the moment someone told you they believed in you when you didn't believe in yourself. You are being rebuilt through remembrance. You ask silently, why must the light expose what hurts? Raphael replies, because darkness never heals through denial. The light must wound before it restores. You feel that truth settle deep inside your ribs. It isn't punishment, it's surgery. The light is cutting through infection, through illusion, through every unspoken ache you've carried. And as it does, something miraculous happens, your fear begins to speak. The fragments of the mirror start to hum with voices, your own, multiplied through time. They confess, I was scared to love. I didn't believe I deserved peace. I thought hiding would protect me. Each confession breaks a chain, and you feel your body growing lighter, almost translucent. Raphael steps forward, closer than before. He raises his hand, a motion slow as dawn, and presses his palm against your chest. You feel no pressure, yet your soul reacts as though 1,000 suns just touched your heart. Your knees weaken. Light floods you from the inside. You see now, the mirror wasn't built to expose shame. It was built to expose light. Your secrets were never curses. They were places where divine truth was waiting to be rediscovered. Raphael says softly, when the Creator first breathed into you, fragments of heaven were hidden within your fears. To find them, you must look where you are afraid to see. You close your eyes and let the emerald glow fill every cell. Images flash, oceans, temples, faces of strangers who once crossed your path, every soul you ever touched without realizing it. You see the ripple effect of your existence, how your single act of kindness changed someone else's entire timeline. You never knew your small moments mattered. Raphael shows you that every breath has consequence, every choice echoes into eternity. A vision begins to unfold, a scene from the Book of Tobit. Tobias again, walking the desert with Raphael disguised as a traveler. You see them reach the river where a giant fish leaps from the water, threatening to consume Tobias. Raphael commands him, "Take the fish by its gills." Tobias obeys, and what once tried to destroy him becomes his tool of healing, its gall curing his father's blindness. Raphael's voice surrounds you, your fears are the fish, your courage is the hand. What you confront becomes what you heal with. You tremble, not from terror, but from awe. The lesson is brutal in its simplicity, what you run from is what you were sent to redeem. The mirror now dissolves into light rain, drops of green fire falling upward. Each droplet hits your skin and seeps inward like divine ink, rewriting old stories. The guilt fades. The confusion softens. You can feel your heartbeat sinking to the pulse of creation itself. And in the quiet that follows, Raphael whispers again, so close it feels like breath against your ear, "Now that you've seen yourself, you are ready to be tested." The world around you shifts again, light turns to storm. The mirror shatters completely, releasing a wind that smells like salt and eternity. The ground opens into a spiral of luminous mist. You're being pulled forward again, not falling, but ascending through fire that doesn't burn, a crucible of divine transformation. You close your eyes and surrender. The emerald flame becomes your sky. The next realm awaits. The emerald storm swallows you whole. Every direction is light and motion, every breath a collision between fire and calm. You cannot tell where the wind ends and your soul begins. It feels like being burned and healed at the same time, a paradox only Raphael's presence can hold. You hear the whisper again, steady as heartbeat, "Now the trial begins." You reach forward, but your hands vanish into light. The space around you becomes molten, bending and reshaping like the heart of a star. You can smell the faint sweetness of ozone and ancient incense. Then, the sound of wings, vast and echoing. Raphael is no longer beside you, he is everywhere. "Don't fight the fire," he says, "for it does not seek to destroy, it seeks to refine." The green fire turns gold at its edges, flickering through your memories. You see every moment when you chose silence instead of truth. You watch your own words turning into chains, your own silence becoming a weapon. You ache, not from pain, but from clarity. Then a surge of energy crashes through your chest. You gasp, falling to your knees, gripping nothing but air. The fire coils around you like a serpent of light, and from its center, a single voice rises, your own inner voice, long abandoned. Why did you stop believing in yourself? You want to answer, but the flames demand more than words. They demand honesty. You try to speak, and your confession spills out like thunder, "Because I thought heaven forgot me." The light trembles, not in anger, but compassion. Raphael's wings appear again, wide enough to shelter galaxies. "Heaven forgets no one," he whispers. But when you hide, even angels cannot heal what you refuse to reveal. The fire grows hotter, yet you feel no harm. Instead, the heat becomes illumination. Every dark memory burns away, leaving only the lessons behind. You see betrayals not as wounds, but as mirrors of your own fear to trust. You see failures not as endings, but as invitations to begin again. And through it all, Raphael watches. His form begins to shift, now appearing as a figure of human light, eyes deep as oceans, robes woven from starlight and emerald mist. He reaches toward you. "Come closer," he says. You obey. His palm hovers over your heart, and the moment it aligns, a sound like 1,000 bells erupts inside your ribs. Light floods your body, not around you, but through you. Every cell vibrates. You hear forgotten prayers, not from your lips, but from your soul. They rise like doves through the fire. Heal me. Forgive me. See me. Raphael answers them all with one phrase: you already are. Tears fall freely. You don't even know why. They sizzle in the golden fire, each drop turning into light that floats upward. You realize this isn't punishment. This is purification, the burning away of illusions. You whisper, "Will this ever end?" Your name shimmers in the air before you, and a corridor opens. It is not a path others can see, it is built uniquely from what formed you: love you received, love you refused, the fears you married, the courage you forgot you had. You step forward, and the first pillar awakens. Inside its translucent core, a scene appears, a night you nearly gave up on yourself, but didn't. You watch your past self breathe through a storm alone, not knowing angels stood in the room, holding up your future like a lantern. The next pillar shows a quieter pain, the apology you never got. You feel the ache return like a distant thunder. Raphael tilts his head, and the image widens to reveal what you never saw: the person you waited on didn't know how to heal their own shame. Their silence was a wound, not a weapon. Compassion sparks in your chest, unexpected and freeing. The emerald light within you expands. "Why show me this?" you ask, barely above a whisper. "So you stop binding your heart to verdicts that heaven never gave," Raphael answers. "You were never commanded to remain in chains just because someone else could not find their key." Another pillar brightens. You witness the small kindness you once considered insignificant, the message you sent, the food you shared, the quiet way you chose not to repeat a rumor. The pillar glows brighter than any triumph you tried to prove to the world. Raphael's voice softens. Heaven is not impressed by applause, but it records mercy like galaxies. Far down the hall, a subtle wind rises, and the shelves become trees of light, each leaf inscribed with a name. You realize, these are intercessions, moments when someone prayed for you without telling you. Strangers, relatives, friends you lost, even those who misunderstood you, their prayers hang here like dew, still shining, still active, still working healing through your timeline. Your knees weaken under the weight of gratitude you never knew you owed. "Breathe," Raphael says gently. "Receive what was always on its way." You inhale, and the library seems to breathe with you. The emerald aura that followed you since the first veil threads softly into your lungs. With every breath out, shadows leave. With every breath in, light returns. The rhythm steadies you, restore, release, restore, release, like the tide of a holy sea. A vast dome opens overhead, starless yet radiant. In its center, a single constellation stirs into being, but the stars are living words. Beloved, you were not a mistake. They fade, and new words form. Your healing is older than your pain. You press a hand to your heart. The truth is warm. It feels like finding a letter written to you before you were born. Here, Raphael says, stopping before a pillar veined with gold. This record matters. The image rises, an ancient room, dim with oil lamp light. A young woman, Sarah, weeps under a sorrow that men cannot name. From the book of Tobit you know this. A torment haunted her, a presence that stole joy before it reached her hands. Raphael's figure appears in the scene, not as thunder, but as remedy. He instructs Tobias to prepare what will drive the darkness away. The ritual is simple, almost ordinary: courage, obedience, prayer, and yet a demon is bound, and a house becomes peaceful. A father's sight is restored by gall, a son's faith is fortified by walking, a family line is rescued overnight by steps taken in daylight. Raphael looks at you. I am called the medicine of God for a reason. Remember this: healing is not always gentle. Sometimes it binds what hunts you. Sometimes it asks you to act. The pillar contracts into a narrow beam that slips into your chest without pain, lodging where your fear used to live. You feel steadier. Not invincible, honest. Not untouched, restored. You pass another series of pillars, each one unfolding deeper patterns: how your heartbreak warned you away from imitations of love, how your failures raised the signal flare that drew true mentors to you, how your loneliness taught you to recognize the counterfeit by its noise and the authentic by its serenity. What you thought were wasted years appear now as seeds buried in winter, waiting for this emerald spring. A final alcove opens, and within it sits a book unlike the others. It looks simple, almost plain, bound in dusk green leather that smells like rain. You reach for it, and it opens to blank pages that fill as your fingers brush them. Your life writes itself in present tense. You choose honesty over comfort. You forgive without forgetting the lesson. You consent to healing that costs you your pride but returns to you your peace. Can I change what is written, you ask? Raphael's eyes brighten with a kind, fierce light. You are changing it now. The book closes, and the library brightens as if pleased. Far above, a choir of unseen voices sighs like wind through tall grass. You sense a transition rising, the way dawn lifts a horizon before you see the sun. The pillars dim to a gentle glow, blessing you as you pass. At the exit, Raphael stands with one hand extended. You have looked upon the records without breaking, he says. Now you are ready to live what you have learned. Outside the archway, a new landscape unfolds, the edge of night giving way to a field of tender light. A breeze moves through with the scent of olive and rain. The emerald aura gathers like a shawl around your shoulders. Your heartbeat is calm. Your mind is clear. You are no longer intimidated by truth, you are accompanied by it. Where do we go now, you ask, though your spirit already knows. To the last surrender, Raphael replies, voice nearly a whisper. where exposure becomes restoration. Where you breathe without fear, and dawn breathes with you. His wings unfurl, cathedral wide and river smooth, and their shade feels like home. You step beneath them, and for a long, still moment, heaven feels as close as your own pulse. Walk, he says softly. Everything that remains will be healed in the light you no longer resist. The path ahead brightens. You step forward, and the library's silence follows, not as emptiness, but as blessing. Your feet touch earth that remembers paradise. Your lungs fill with emerald air. The future meets you like a friend who kept every secret safe while you learned to let them go. You do not look back. You do not need to. The records have released you. The truth now walks with you. And somewhere, just beyond the next breath, the emerald dawn begins to rise. The horizon breathes green. You stand in the open expanse between worlds. The air still carries the hush of the library, but now it trembles with life. The sky above shifts through colors language has never named. Every shade of emerald, jade, and soft gold folds together like silk in motion. Beneath your feet, the earth glows faintly, pulsing to your heartbeat. You are no longer walking toward Raphael, you are walking with him. His presence feels woven into every breath, every glimmer of wind around your skin. The dawn waits for your permission to rise, he murmurs. It will not force itself upon you. You close your eyes. Light filters through your eyelids, warm and infinite. The storm, the mirror, the trial, all of it feels distant now, like stories that happened to someone else in another lifetime. Yet every echo still lives in your bones. Raphael's wings unfold, but softer now, feathers of light falling through the morning air like blessing rain. You have carried your wounds long enough, he whispers. Now let heaven carry you. A breeze brushes your face. It smells like olive trees and rain-soaked stone. You exhale, and the air carries your exhaustion upward, transforming it into tiny orbs of light that drift toward the sky. Each one bursts softly into sparks. With every release, you feel lighter, emptier in the best way, like a vessel finally cleared to hold peace. The emerald glow around you thickens until you can almost see it move. It swirls in slow spirals, forming delicate sigils that rise from the ground and vanish into your chest. You feel Raphael's energy align with your heartbeat again, that same sacred rhythm you felt when the trial began. Only now, it's slower, steadier, like the pulse of a healed soul. He speaks low, almost reverent. Every wound you carried was a door. Every tear was a baptism. Every silence was an initiation into hearing the unspoken voice of the divine. Your body shivers, not from cold, but from remembering. Every pain had meaning. Every loss had purpose. What once shattered you is now the crystal through which heaven's light refracts. Raphael lifts a hand and motions toward the horizon. In the distance, a sunrise unfolds, not red or orange, but radiant green-white, shimmering with the rhythm of heartbeats. This, he says, is the dawn within you. The world will reflect it back once you accept it as your nature. You take a step forward. The ground feels weightless. You realize you are no longer walking on earth but on light itself. The path bends upward, and you rise with it, not in flight, but in release. Every step is forgiveness. Every breath is surrender. The wind carries fragments of voices, people you've known, loved, lost. Some whisper your name, others simply sigh in peace. Their words are blessings now. You understand that healing does not erase the past, it redeems it. Raphael walks beside you until the horizon begins to blur, the line between sky and earth dissolving. This is where exposure becomes restoration, he says. Where truth stops being heavy and starts being holy. He turns to you one final time, his gaze deep as the ocean floor. You once feared my light because it showed your scars. But light that reveals is the same light that rebuilds. You nod, unable to speak. Emotion rises in your throat like water too pure to cry out. Raphael places his palm against your forehead. It's cool, soothing, final. Breathe now, he whispers, and let the fire become rain. The emerald aura expands in all directions. The wind stills. The light shifts from storm to calm, from radiance to intimacy. And then, it happens, the world exhales through you. A luminous rain begins to fall, glowing softly as it touches your skin. The drops dissolve on contact, leaving warmth and stillness behind. You look upward. The sky opens like a great eye, and from within it, a single beam of emerald dawn descends. It meets your chest, and everything you are, your stories, your fears, your prayers, turns transparent. You feel infinite, yet personal. Seen, yet safe. Raphael's voice fades into the rhythm of your breathing. You are not broken. You are revealed. You are not late. You are arriving. You are not abandoned. You are accompanied. The rain becomes mist. The mist becomes light. The light becomes quiet. And when the silence returns, it feels like home. The last thing you hear before the dawn consumes the world is a whisper, gentle as breath, breathe now. Raphael is still here with you. If this message found you, it's not by accident. Archangel Raphael's light touches only those whose souls are ready to rise. You've just walked through the mirror, the fire, and the dawn. That means you are being prepared for a season of healing beyond logic, beyond reason. Take a moment right now, breathe deeply. Feel the emerald glow moving through your heart. That calm you sense? That peace beginning to unfold? That's the proof Raphael's presence hasn't left. Now, share this moment forward. Someone out there, someone you love, someone you've never met, needs to hear these words exactly when you did. Let them walk through this same light. Before you scroll away, pause and write in the comments, Archangel Raphael, heal me completely. It's not superstition, it's consent. Heaven listens to the hearts that speak aloud. And if you feel that pull, that strange, divine stirring inside your chest, it's your confirmation. You're meant to stay connected. Subscribe to this channel. Step into the emerald flow every time a new message appears. Because each one is part of a larger awakening, a revelation meant to remind you that healing is not a destination, it's the way home. May Raphael's wings stay above you. May his light continue within you.